What in the hell did the Raptors get themselves into? What did they get themselves into with this entire Kawhi Leonard situation, this Kawhi Leonard saga? I mean, what a mess this has turned out to be. And I'm sure everybody who is still watching, trying to figure out and listening to what is happening right now still with this entire situation with Kawhi Leonard, this thing is still in limbo. The trade is frozen. What the hell is taking so long with this investigation? It's actually really beginning to piss me off. It really is. I want you to listen to this article that I'm going to read to you by Baxter Holmes from ESPN. That was released today. Bear with me. I don't know how much of this I'm going to read. It's pretty long and I don't want to read through the whole thing, but bear with me here. The NBA investigation into whether the LA Clippers circumvented the salary cap to pay Kawhi Leonard could drag into 2027 if the parties don't agree on the findings or any proposed settlement that involves punishing the team, sources with knowledge of the case told ESPN on Wednesday. Did you just hear what I said? Could drag into 2027? You got to be kidding me right now, right? I mean, no, seriously. Seriously. I mean, didn't Adam Silver say that he wanted this thing wrapped up before the beginning of the season?
This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Sources close to the National Basketball Players Association, with knowledge of the investigation, said the union wouldn't hesitate to take the matter to arbitration if the NBA sought penalties without sufficient evidence proving the claim that the Clippers have denied since the league's probe began nearly 10 months ago. On July 9th, the National Basketball Players Association executive director David Kelly, listen to this, told reporters in Las Vegas that he didn't believe there was a there regarding whether the Clippers compensated Leonard through a $28 million endorsement deal that he signed in 2022 with the now bankrupt Green Banking Company Aspiration, which also had a 23-year, $300 million endorsement deal with the Clippers. Listen, when asked if he believed there was anything that the New York law firm Wachtell Lipton, which is directing the NBA's investigation, had uncovered that was worthy of punishment, Kelly replied, "Not from anything I've seen." And this is why this thing is about to get extremely, extremely messy. Because if you got to send this thing to arbitration, no one is going to agree on any side. Everybody's going to fight this thing. One source with knowledge of the investigative process cautioned against the idea of any outside parties having inside knowledge of Wachtell Lipton's findings to date, or of anyone trying to speculate as to whether the length of the investigation signals what the law firm has or hasn't found. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said July 14th that this case was a complicated process that involved bankruptcy courts and reluctant witnesses. If the parties, which include the Clippers and the National Basketball Players Association, can't agree, the matter could head to a neutral arbitrator who is jointly appointed by the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association. The arbitrator could compel document production, witness testimony, and order discovery. After a hearing, the arbitrator's ruling would be subject to an appeals panel made up of 3 people jointly appointed by the NBA and the NBPA. The appeal panel decision is binding. Just a little more here. Such a process, which applies in this instance because cap circumvention is a violation of the NBA's collective bargaining agreement, would ultimately determine whether Silver could punish the Clippers for allegations that money was funneled to Leonard through aspiration. On July 14th, also, Silver told reporters that the investigation needs to be wrapped up before the beginning of next season and that it had gone on longer than I would have hoped. There's no question about that. So this is going to be extremely messy. It already is a mess. First of all, this thing is going on almost a year right now. Almost a year. And so when this trade went through, I'm wondering how much did Bobby Webster actually know in regards to this investigation? Now, was he expecting this? Was he expecting the investigation to be over already? Are they still gathering more information? Because I'm sure all the information that they have gathered from this investigation is a wrap. I'm sure they found everything that they want to find. I mean, if you have an entire firm that is siphoning through information day after day after day for this type of investigation, I'm sure you have all the info. But what I'm not sure of is if the NBA and Adam Silver are ready to hand out the results of this investigation to the public yet. Because this is unprecedented, right? Like this is some pretty wild, crazy stuff. And if they have the evidence that they believe is suffice to make a really, to make a statement, right? If you have that evidence, you got to make sure this is a bad look for the NBA. You got to make sure this never, ever happens again. And if you have the evidence to show that this is what indeed happened with the LA Clippers aspiration and Kawhi Leonard, I would think that the NBA and Adam Silver especially is going to try to make an example out of the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, which is unfortunate for the Toronto Raptors because now they're involved and they're going to now have to get the brunt of this to a certain degree. Yes, the punishment will be for Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers. And we don't know that as a matter of fact detail as of right now. But if Kawhi Leonard gets a suspension, I read in here that, I mean, I can read it to you. Under the NBA's 2023 collective bargaining agreement, penalties for salary cap circumvention can include team fines up to $7.5 million, direct forfeiture of draft picks, and voiding of any player contract, and a suspension of up to a year for any team personnel found to have engaged in such violation. Can you imagine if Kawhi Leonard got a year suspension? I don't think it'll be that drastic. Then again, we don't know what the hell is going to happen. But even if it's not, what if Kawhi Leonard is playing for the Raptors and gets a 30, 45, 50 game suspension? Remember, this is a terrible, and I mean terrible, look for the NBA. And all that's happening right now is the uncertainty is breeding speculation and rumors, which damages the NBA's, what would you say, image? because you can't have stuff like this happening. This is just straight up corruption at this point. I mean, excuse me if I'm being dramatic with the word corruption here, but this is just flat out ridiculous. I mean, seriously. I mean, I mean, did anybody think that this damn thing would be dragged out this long? And all of this is just going to end up hurting the Raptors more and more and more. I mean, seriously, because the trade is frozen here. The front office for the Raptors, to a certain degree, is kind of handcuffed in regards to making complementary moves, supplementary pieces. Like, I'm pretty sure they weren't finished this offseason when things that they were doing. I don't know that to be the case, but I'm just assuming that maybe they would have liked to make another move or two. But how the hell do you expect to do that when you don't even know what's going on with your most important piece? You would like that domino to fall. And I mean, what do you even do in this case, right? Because if this thing drags on, we're hoping this thing gets done by at least the beginning of September, late August. Hopefully this thing just comes to a wrap. But if you're Kawhi Leonard, if you're Grady Dick, if you're Brandon Ingram, and now you're going into training camp, what do you like? Who do you report to? Because I mean, technically, this trade is not official, right? We don't know the findings of the investigation yet. Who do these players report to? Does Grady Dick and Brandon Ingram, if this thing isn't wrapped up by training camp, do they have to report back to the Raptors and be in the Raptors training camp? Kawhi Leonard in a Clippers training camp? I mean, it's a mess. And this is exactly what we're talking about here. I mean, does the coaching staff even know what to scheme for at this point? I mean, yes, I'm sure you're getting some intel that, you know, you're getting some word from your general manager saying, yeah, you know, it looks like the trade is going to go through, but we don't know if he's going to be suspended or not. So we don't know if he's going to be in the lineup. So now your game plan has to completely change for that as well. Now the Raptors gave up first round picks. You gave up a pick swap, second round pick. But because there are going to be penalties for the Clippers, if they end up forfeiting some of these draft picks, and I don't know how it goes in regards to how many they'll have to give up if that happens to be the case, or what years they're going to be. Do they lose who do these picks go to? Do the Raptors somehow get a pick back? Could that be possible? Where would the pick go to? I'm not sure. Because I don't know if the Adam Silver and the NBA reward the Raptors and give them a pick back. I don't know how the hell that would happen. Even though they still would be getting punished at the same time if Kawhi Leonard does get a massive suspension, which would be, I mean, if you're the Raptors organization, you're just going to have to eat that, right? At this point. Does it become a distraction in the locker room? I don't know. There's a lot of questions right now. A hell of a lot more questions than answers. And this thing got even more complicated because I was watching Pablo Torre talking about this from an episode that he just released today as well. And this thing gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Like it was so deep to the point where I just turned it off. I can't even watch it anymore because I don't care how deep they're getting in this. I just want some damn answers. What the hell is going on? Can you give us some results, please? I mean, this is bizarre. Just bizarre as it gets. And the crazy thing is that it affects so many different things, right? Even when you look at the Raptors and Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, right? How does it affect them in regards to their fans and ticket sales, right? Because so much of your ticket sales are going to be contingent upon Kawhi Leonard. It completely changes everything, whether he's in the lineup or not in the lineup. I mean, PR, you're going to have a lot of work to do at the beginning of this training camp, in the beginning of the season, probably all season because of this. Get ready. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. But trust me, your work will be cut out for you. And I mean, if the Raptors want to make any other moves, or the Clippers at that matter, but I focus mostly on the Raptors here, does it become an issue for other teams to make deals because they don't know what pieces will ultimately be available due to this domino not dropping? Or are they just another way or simpler way to put it? Do they not want to be or have anything to do with you until this mess is completely over? Dunzo. Kaput. This is not a good look for the NBA. And it's a very bad look for the Clippers and for Kawhi Leonard. And I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of proof as to whether Kawhi Leonard knew exactly what the hell was going on here. I will not say he did. I will not say he did not. But there are other people focused on that money and the business surrounding that money more than him. He's on the basketball court. He's in practice. He's at the games. And don't get me wrong, he's a grown-ass man. I'm sure he understands and knows to a certain degree what is going on with his own damn money. I'm just saying here, whoever is in your corner as your agent, manager, whoever the hell is taking care of business for you, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. And so how this thing ends up, I'm just hoping that we get some clarity and get some clarity soon, because this entire Kawhi Leonard saga mess is a disaster for not only himself and for the Clippers, for the NBA, but it's going to become a massive problem. It already has. We're just waiting to find out what happens overall. It's becoming a mess for the Toronto Raptors, and damn it, we want some answers.